Hey everybody, Steven here, and today looking at the 5 and 6 inch smart Wi-Fi LED downlight from Lumary. Now, this is actually a light I've used in the bathroom at my new house. I really like the app and how easy it is with this to just install, because if you already have an existing can light, you literally just screw this into the outlet for that. It's an E26, I believe, screw with that. And so simple to do. It takes like maybe a minute to actually install, which is awesome. But with this, let's cover the specs first, and then I'll talk about the process of installing it again, and then we'll actually look at the app and all the things that you can actually do with that. And so with this is $115.99, so $116. With this, I've seen it on sale as well. So if you catch it at the right time, you can find really good deals on these where you may get a discount code, or it may already be discounted with that. Now looking at these specifications here, so input voltage is 100 to 130 volts. It's AC at 60 hertz. The correlated color temperature is RGB plus its tunable white from 2700K to 6000K. The color rendering index is 90 plus. The wattage is 13 watts. Lumens, we have 1100. Beam angle is 100 degrees, and rated life is 25,000 hours, which is really awesome to see. Some of the stuff that they showcase on the box here, you have the app dimmer, cool and warm. It should be over 16 million colors. I think it's the 16.7 million colors. You have voice control with Alexa and Google Assistant. I don't really use that. You have music sync, timer. Obviously you have communication with the app. And then again, we're looking at the correlated color temperature being greater than 90. This is the simple setup here, literally what I was talking about. You just screw it into the existing outlet and you are good to go with this. Which brings us to actually doing that. This was super quick, no time at all. Just took out the previous can lights that I had installed, and I actually upgraded these when I moved in the house. These, you can only adjust them to different color temperatures, and that's it. They are 15 watts, so I believe they're 1500 lumens, so they do maybe get a little bit brighter than these, which is probably the one thing I would change about these lights. They're the 13 watts. I wish they had a version that was 15 watts and again about 1500 lumens. But if you're just looking at this, it's so quick and easy to do. It takes no time. And I actually like the, I don't know if you call them the teeth or the grips on this. When you go to push this in, it's a snug fit. It actually works better than the other lights that I had in there. I wish all of the lights like this actually had these same grips. They just work so well. And you can see the difference here. Now with the other one, you could actually expand them out, where I don't know that you can do that with the Lumary here. You might be able to adjust that, but I didn't actually mess with that. But it fits so perfect for the 6-inch can that I have. And so looking at the subtle differences between the previous light and that light, and then now looking at the app. So we have these installed, you turn them on, they start flashing, and then you essentially just let the app connect to these, and it usually registers. So these just popped up for me, and then it said, hey, do you want to add these? I said, yep. And so it did that. It'll go from flashing, and then all of a sudden it'll just go solid with the color. I'm using warp stabilizer in post, so if it starts kind of wobbling a little bit, that's why. So it's not shaky, but it does do that. Now, once you have this, it does ask to actually upgrade the software here, which is very quick and easy to do. Doesn't really take that much time, and it's going to connect to the Wi-Fi here. Mine said the signal wasn't good, but that's not true. It was actually really solid. And the update, like I said, really quick and easy to do with this, and then they are good to go. Then you can pull up the app, and then you just start making all of the adjustments that you want to make with this, which is going to bring us next to actually showcasing the app and going through all the settings that it has. All right, so my son is downstairs watching TV right now, so you may notice him in the background, but I'm gonna try to cover as much as I can with this app. There's a lot going on, very easy to use though. So you can see the devices that I have right now. I have them listed as the living room, and then I have them all paired together. You can manage your home though. So with this, you create a home or join one if you want to actually share an app experience with somebody else in the house. And then from there, you can add different rooms and all types of stuff. But if you do install these, you would add the device. A lot of times it'll just register on its own, and you can create your own scenes as well. I have all devices, and then I have a living room, master bedroom, and you can go through the different rooms that you have set, and you get to tailor these, rename them, assign different lights to them, all types of different things. And so with this, I'm turning these on and off individually. And you actually have quick settings underneath that. They're limited, but you can actually dim them individually, right? So we have the brightness right here. Next to that, you actually have the color temperature if you want to change that, and you can see that on that far left light there. You have a timer if you do want to set some type of timer, if you want it to shut off in, I don't know, an hour, and then do not disturb if you want to actually utilize that as well. With this though, I paired all of these to the living room, which is the one down at the bottom that we'll talk about again here in a second. But individually, you could go through and adjust these as well if you wanted to, or you go into these as one group. And again, you actually have to go through the settings to assign these as one group. When you click on it though, you have the dimmer function. And this, you have the color temperature sphere here. You can tune this and change this to whatever you want. You have up to 5 presets that you can assign at the top as well. I just added one right there. You can dim, which is at the far top as well. So you have the dimmer and that just slides. You could do it in chunks, or you could literally just swipe your finger and it'll move along with that as well. If you switch over to the left, this is going to be your color wheel here. And so now you get to choose, and I'm actually just going through the presets, but you get to choose any color that you want. Again, they should have the 16.7 million different colors with this. A lot of different options and variation with this. You still get to dim this as well. This does work on a regular dimmer. So we have a regular dimmer in the living room, so you could use that if you wanted to. Also, you don't have to just go through the app. Moving over to the scenes here though, we have the ones that you can customize. So if you look at the top here, you have 8 different ones that you can customize, and that will show the little, it looks like a pen or a pencil in the upper right hand corner. That lets you know you can customize it. When we get to the recommend down below, you can't customize those. But I'm just going to cycle through these and actually showcase a little bit of what they look like. I'm not gonna sit for a long period of time with each necessarily, but we'll cover what we can. This is actually one that I've customized. We actually use this for a Halloween party. So with this, I've set this to switch between purple and green, and it just goes back and forth. And with this, you have all these different, and you get to rename these as well. So I've named this one Halloween. I can't remember, it may have been Dazzle before this. And then we have Gorgeous. Then we'll actually move to the recommend. And with the recommend, some of them are just a set light, temperature, or color, and it just sits there. Some of them, it will actually change colors or will have an effect to it. And so these early ones, these are more static colors. It's just showing you, like we have Vitality Orange here, and that'll just be an orange color. It's not really gonna move. You start getting to something else like the ocean. That one's gonna shift colors a little bit. So all of these, you can actually just put it to whatever the preset is and then just wait and see, can it do anything? Again, note that there isn't that pen or that pencil in the upper right hand corner. So with this, you can't customize these. That would be nice if you could. I wish you could go in and actually maybe tailor these if it's changing colors. Maybe you can't completely customize it, but if you could just adjust maybe speed or something like that with these, I think that would be a nice thing to add in the future in terms of the software. Some of the names are unique as well. Like Forest, I understand, but Kung Fu, that's a very interesting preset with this. But yeah, you have a huge spectrum of different ones here. They're set though, so it's not like it can go, as far as I know, go and add more. Because I've seen other apps where like the community makes different presets and then you get to download those. I haven't noticed that with this. It's just whatever's in the app. But getting down towards the bottom here, they even have their own Halloween one. It's decent, but I definitely like mine more. So I do like that you can create your own, and you can even get ideas from looking at these presets as well, right? So looking at, we went from the French style, now we're going to the American style, and you're seeing now we're having different effects where it's doing like a breathing effect, or it's doing a flashing effect, or something like that, right? Birthday kind of flashes and it pops between these different colors. And it does cover a good amount of my living room. It's not quite as bright as my previous ones. Like I said, I think those are 1500 lumen, or they may be 1300, but they are slightly brighter than these, not by a massive margin. But if I'm looking at this, if I could change anything, it would definitely be, let's increase these to 15 watt, 1500 lumen, and that could just be another version. And then maybe a version with a remote for those people that don't want to go through the software. They would have the option, they just want to keep it very simple. They could just use a remote. And I've used a remote with the ones, and they're from Ustellar, but these can lights that I have in my office in the game room. And with those, the remote, it doesn't have all the same functions that the app has, but it's enough to get you by. So in most use cases, you could just quickly grab that remote if you wanted to. So I definitely think that's something maybe we could see them adding down the road. And I believe, because they have so many different products, they may have some other versions that actually have that. Maybe not these, because they also have 4-inch can lights like this. They have a lot of different options, other lighting options as well, table lamps, things like that. Looking at this, so this is me customizing this, right? So I've named this Halloween. The different modes that you can change to: static, flash, and breathe. Once you've done that, you can change the speed at which it does that as well. More options here would be nice down the road, just because a lot of the stuff that you find with PC software, there are so many different options out there. It'd be really nice to see that down the road as well, but that's just a software update. That's definitely something that they can do. You can change the brightness level with this as well, and then you just confirm to save this. Moving on, we have music, where it's going to need access to your microphone, and from there, I actually have music playing right now, it's then going to look at the highs and lows of that source, whatever the sound is, and then give you different color changes and things like this. No customization here, which another thing we could hopefully see down the road with some type of software update where you could tweak this a little bit. I think that'd be something that would be really cool to see as well. I could also see this being really cool, just giving access to the microphone, where if you wanted to customize that, put your phone close to the TV and then pick up on that. I think that would be really cool as well. So moving on, next you have schedule. So you can create some type of schedule routine with this. Maybe they're turning on at a certain time or anything like that. So you have a good amount of customization as well there. And then the power memory and what you're going to do with this. I haven't used this much, but it's definitely one of those things, the more options, the better, in my opinion, which is why I want more customization with some of these things. But the fact that it's there is really cool. I don't use the voice control stuff like I mentioned, but I do like the fact that it has it. You can change in the app the icon for the living room. You get to name this group name, change it, remove things. If you needed to add a different one, maybe one needs to be swapped out, you could remove the one that isn't being used anymore and then add in the new one. So you get to create these groups per room, and then with that, what you're seeing right here is I could share that with somebody as well. So if my wife wants to have access to this with her app, I've already created all this stuff, so we're not running it separately. She gets to then just have access to this. Here you have home management. Again, you get to create a home or anything like that that you want. Add members to this as well. I have 6. That's just by default. It's showing you rooms in the house that a normal house might have, but you could take a lot of those away. If I just wanted to show the living room, I could do that. Profile name, what's your time zone, different settings within this as well. There's a lot going on here, which I'm not going to cover all of this, but you can see the different options that you have within the settings if you needed to update the software, change the temperature unit, all types of stuff with this that you could do. So I am extremely happy with this product. I like the fact that you have all these different options with the app. It's $115, but again, if you find it with a discount, I don't think that's breaking the bank. I think it's definitely worth it in my opinion. And I like the different options that I have now in the living room that I didn't have before with the other ones, where it was just like, hey, you can turn this from like 2700K to 3000, 4, 5, 6000. That was it. So much more customization with this. So again, when we're having parties and things like that, we get to then change it. And we just had our Halloween party, and it was so cool because the previous year we didn't have these lights. We just left the lights in the living room off. Now we got to leave them on. So one, the area is more illuminated, but also with that, again, we set like this ambiance where we were doing it, we're switching from purple to green. It was just a cool look, and this is what I'm showcasing right now. So it was just awesome to have this with the party, the Halloween party. We have a Christmas party, we can do the same thing. So I definitely like this product. Again, two things I would change: if we could actually get this with the 1500 lumens at 15 watts, and if we had a version with a remote, that would be awesome. Maybe something that they can do down the road. More customization with some of these different things if we could get it. That's just through a software update. But beyond that, overall, extremely happy with this. Easy to install, decent price, app is easy to use, and you have lots of customization with this already. And down the road, maybe we get a little bit more, which would be great. Well, that's going to be it for this one, everybody. If you have any questions about these, definitely let me know in the comment section. These get a huge thumbs up from me. I really like these lights. I'm going to have a link for these in the description if you want to pick them up. Again, check back frequently because they do have sales and coupons for these pretty often. So I can imagine for Black Friday, we're going to see a lot of deals on these and the rest of the products that they offer on Amazon, which they have a very wide selection. So that's it for this one, everybody. If you like the video, hit the like button for me. If you want to continue to follow along with all my content, hit the subscribe button for me. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.